Hi everyone, welcome to Canalización Armonía. My name is Luz, and we're gonna do a pick a card today and a crystal as well. I want to start by setting intention of clearing and neutralizing the space, as always, with some salvia locally here from the mountain I live at. I thank you, Sage, for this sacred gift of purification. So, calling in your ancestors, spirit guides, goddesses, galactic families of the higher realms of higher frequency for greatest good of all to come through, and inviting in the delicious scents of some incense to tap into offering that scent for higher realms, for the archangels, and for all beings of light that want to come through to bring you messages of clarity and truth. And as well, we're going to turn in a candle, summoning protection with this white candle, and clarity, of course. And we have here your three piles to choose. First one, we have a red Jasper egg with fulfillment. Second, we have yellow calcite with children. Third, we have clear quartz with environment. Timestamps will be in the description box below. And I'll see you in your reading. Hi, group number one. If you chose the red Jasper egg with a card fulfillment, this is your reading. Eternal existence has no meaning if it is not conscious, and consciousness has no meaning if it does not give it any fulfillment. Real enjoyment, divine enjoyment, comes from service, not from exploitation. Okay, I feel like there is an energy of really like a big, I feel like a big energy of wow, everything is coming so fast. Everything is coming so fast. Like opportunities, maybe like information that's bringing you a little bit down, but maybe also information that is scaring you at the moment, or yes, making you a little bit uneasy. But I want to say that with the eternal existence having no meaning, um, I feel like you might want to like dive deep into what you're really feeling and really finding the deep like spiritual meaning of it, as opposed from like maybe not caring that much or not giving it much thought than just a superficial meaning of it. But really finding like the divine connection to it, like the card says. Let's read the zebra. Eccentric, creative, visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They're young at heart, well cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality not only is a delight, but also opens our minds. Be prepared. The potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags, okay? So some of you might thinking of traveling, moving, etc. When in balance, worldly, enthusiastic, fashion forward. When out of balance, jaded, putty, vain. To bring into balance, an epic adventure or art. This brings me to the next card, which is the Earth Star Chakra, and I feel like here talking about oneness, collective consciousness, anchoring transmissions from the higher realms, sacred earth, knowledge, integration of the divine, working with grid lines. Yeah, I think you're gonna be working through maybe through art with something really, really divine that maybe you haven't been paying attention to. Maybe you're thinking it's kind of riskful here with the Fool, and maybe you're thinking that it's too good to be truth or too much of a fantasy to even go for it. That's the kind of thoughts that I'm feeling that are being like scary for you, that are making you doubt a lot. But have no doubt, because the zebra here is telling me that are you're just an energy who is very adventurous, and you could be sure that you're gonna be safe wherever you go. I don't know if this is about you traveling for career or work, or maybe just really like starting a whole new life, starting fresh from zero somewhere else. That might be something. Or maybe you just want to take a break from the mundane and connect more to your divine spirit and maybe travel. That's what's coming through. But yes, this is what's coming for you. And I feel like it's going to bring you a bunch of new ideas and a bunch of new possibilities when you work with these grid lines of energy, because it's just gonna happen regardless. If you even try, you're someone that is very you're very mm, in a sense you can see a lot, and maybe you might benefit from grounding a lot right now, like grounding into your earth star chakra. This is the chakra under the root chakra, and it says healing position at the feet, 30 centimeters below the feet, but okay, earth brown color. So if you're attracted to color brown, this might be a confirmation. It says restore, explore clear meditation, self energy work, and put intention into the meaningful parts of your life. Find ways to balance your life. Be aware of the times of day that are more conductive, or different states of consciousness, such as flow, meditation, and productivity. Yeah, and it really connects with the potent magic, quote unquote, that says here on the zebra card, with being able to adapt to anything and just find the magic in anything, and find it that nothing is a waste of time. Okay, so that's what's coming through for you. It says the higher you reach for the divine and the realms of spirit, the more important it is to anchor deeply to the earth. So yeah, it brings me to like this sense of adventure. It's like outdoors. It's like exploring, or maybe going on a hike or something like that, and really connecting to your earth chakra. And it is an initiation. Look at that initiation. These are all light codes that are actually channeled by this painter. The deck. All my decks are listed on the description box below. By the way, you can get this deck, and it comes with a symbol to place on the chakra, so above the feet, below the feet. I'm sorry. And this is the symbol, and you imagine the brown color washing over, and this is like a symbol to activate and initiate that earth Star chakra. Yeah, something's initiating, like you're taking a step to something new, and that's exciting. It's coming fast. Okay, that's what I need to repeat. But let's get you an affirmation card. Feel your feelings. If anything is like making you doubt or making you scared, try to process that first before you even take the step. But yes, there's a sense of like innocence of the artist in you that loves adventure, or the artist in you that loves exploring, music and poetry and what's coming, pottery. That's a word that came for a lot of you. Pottery, is that the word where you use clay to make uh, artifacts with clay? I believe so. This might also be you, like just meeting new people, new friend circles, etc., new relationships. So that's exciting for you. Yeah, that's all that's coming through for you right now. Thank you so much for tapping in, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, group number two. You chose the yellow calcite with the heart children. This is your reading. So let's read your first card. Treat your child like a prince for the first 5 years, like a student for 10 more, and upon reaching the 16th year, like a friend. I think some of you are really like, okay, this is more about a wound I'm feeling. A wound of you probably not knowing boundaries in your younger years, and really what came through is a teenage wound. We all have a child wound, and then there's a teenage wound, and I feel like that's what it's coming through, that you're assessing something having to do with the teenage wound, maybe not being heard, not being seen, maybe feeling too restricted, maybe feeling neglected in a way, or like you didn't know where to go, like you didn't feel like you had the support or guidance. Maybe this is a very common collective wound. So this is what's happening at this time when you click on this video for you. So thinking about those years, maybe like it says here in the 16th year. So for a lot of you, it's your children. And you need to think about those things for the future, how you're giving them space, but also guidance at the same time, and being balanced in that way with your children. Some of you teach, some of you work with children in different fields. Maybe child psychology is coming through too. But yes, with the radical expansion, I feel like that's a very important thing for your teenage self to actually grow and express and be radical in their own way, where you find your own essence and you're able to really feel free in that sense, and you're really opening your heart and sharing your heart with the world, and it's so fierce and it's so beautiful at the same time. It's so vulnerable with this radical expansion. And if you go back maybe to that wound, and maybe you know put the intention to find some clarity about that with your spirit guides, spirit team, angels, goddesses, galactic families, etc., then you might be able to find a clue in those channelings for you, in those downloads for you. But let's read the book. Living and loving at full capacity, being unapologetically you, self expression, boldness, having a voice, taking up space, expansion, empowerment, owning your true power, being visible in the world, having fun with your magnificence, letting go of judgment, creative exploration, radical ways of being. Yeah, and I feel like there was something that happened that maybe didn't allow you to have um clear judgment in a certain way, like with others. A lot of you like went through bullying. A lot of you went through just neglect from in your own household, you know mm, what is coming through is that you now overwork yourself to maybe please others because you're afraid to be judged. But i I think that this is having to do more with the past generational trauma. It's not really who you are right now. It's not really going on right now, and you might be going through some distortions in your life and maybe seeing things not so clearly right now. Maybe seeing things very upside down, as far away from the truth as what they are. Maybe you're in some sort of denial, or you're stuck in a loop of blaming others right now because you couldn't do that before. You didn't allow yourself to maybe speak up for yourself when you were mistreated. Hmm. Yeah, you might want to like just ask for messages of what is it that you have to learn right now. You might want to like really reflect on your past here with the judgment in reverse, and be able to look how she's like having. So this is what I saw like in this specific deck, this crosses, but when it was upside down, I got the sense of like she's counting how many times her heart has been broken. That's what I felt here. Might or might not be the case of the intention of this specific art, but yeah, I feel like it's very stuck in this loop of shame, maybe because it's in her solar plexus, and it's like not allowing you to express yourself fully. Maybe right now you're very like non-stop workaholic here with the bee, and the bee when it's unbalanced, which is what I'm feeling, it's more on the unbalanced side of things, might be asking you to take a pause and relax for a little bit. Maybe if you can't take a pause from work because that's just not possible, then maybe when you have a day off, really go in there and reflect. A lot of you, and I'm not making any suggestions because there's different kinds of help you can look for. You can look for therapy, you can look for medicine, sacred medicine, but that's something that's coming through for some of you. Take it as it resonates or not. Okay, let's read the radical expansion. Considering the paradigm of our judgment in others can help us expand into authentic expression. We might not be aware of the thoughts that were imprinted in us from a young age through our parents, teachers, society, and the media. Separation and limitation being with your beliefs around what is acceptable and what is not. Connection and possibility come through owning your power and embracing your responsibility to be more visible in the world, to not shy away from life. Yes, I think as the radical expansion read right now, I think you need to really go go deep inside your feelings right now, okay? And really find like what is that passion, that vital force that roars inside of you, that would motivate you to do what you love, because that is the dragon. A lot of you have a lot of dragon guides around you, or one dragon guide. Dragon beings are someone you can ask for help to. Like I said, there's different ways of asking for help. There's a lot of beings of light that want to help you, that have been guarding you really, and a lot of you have been having a dragon guide since you were a child. Okay, that's what's coming through as well. Okay, do you feel you have the right to take up space? Our auras can expand manifold, but we often choose to keep them tight to our bodies, maybe for safety. But what is this construct in which we have imprisoned ourselves? Where did this subtle or not so subtle shame come from? Yeah. This is talking also about shame, and that's preventing you from really connecting to your heart, you know, to how abundant that is. And in a sense of like you can obtain love and you can refuel your energy a bunch of times from that, from anywhere in that. And I think this is like the shame that was coming through here with the judgment in reverse as well. But let's get your affirmation card to see what's up with them. Ok, una que claro para este grupo. Verifica por favor con la afirmación la carta de niños, sanción radical, abeja y el juicio. The part of me that feels judged is the part of me that desperately needs to feel seen and loved. Wow, yeah, and this is like a call of help from your inner self, your inner child, or your inner teenage wound, which is the wound of really um like an artist wound as well, like you expressing fully. And because when you're a child you find what you really love, but when you're a teenager you have a little bit more freedom and a little bit more of the mindset to actually put into action that art per se you discover when you're a child that you love, that you just love kicking and hitting. And then you find out that you like creating sound, with those. And you find that you like playing some drums, you find that you like playing some bongos or the conga. And then you grow up to being a teenager, you actually have access and the understanding brain now to actually take classes or self teach, and you actually play the drums and you're actually able to express. But then you're told to shut up because you're too loud by neighbors or your parents or whoever, your caregivers. And then that kind of like shuts down and you're not fully to express and you feel judged and you desperately needed to really, really transmute and channel through hitting some drums with your hands. So I feel like that's a lot of you. It's like with the hands. I'm feeling like the hands energy. So maybe you're also a painter. You're also just you play something, with your hands, an instrument that's coming through, and to reconnecting with that, it's gonna help you at this moment in time. Yep. And remember that whatever is shaming you, it's a distortion, and that is where you really need to look towards and be able to find that, to feel loved and to feel seen because you didn't before, and because now this is from you coming, this is radical, and it's really gonna expand your possibilities and open your roads in other areas of your life. Okay, so that's all that's coming through. Remember to let me know what resonates in the comments. And thank you so much for tuning. See you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, group number 3. You chose the crystal quartz and the environment card. This is your reading. Let's read it. You can change the environment if you want peace. You must regulate yourself according to the environment. Even obstacles may improve our position if we can take them in the right way. From a higher angle of vision, it might be seen that everything is coming to help us. And you got the life force energy. I feel like right now you are in a state of being in the process of believing that you can do stuff, that you can do things, and that whatever comes your way is actually taking you to make you stronger, to replenish from the past, from feeling like you weren't able to do stuff, from feeling useless. A lot of you were just judged as that, as being useless or being lazy. I'm feeling, let's read the life force energy. Okay, energy, mana, aina, the rainbow spectrum, bright white light, Reiki, celebrating life, God force, optimal health, being vibrantly alive, thriving nature, conscious consumption, Eden, the body as a temple, bringing earth into balance, so rejuvenation, the love of the land. Yeah, a lot of you might be reconnecting with the land. This is something that's been coming through, and I know that is because the collective energy I'm channeling is just like going through that as well. There's a lot of us out there that are just into this, into knowing that connecting with the land is just, it's just the answer pretty much to a lot. And you might be someone that's trying to help the environment, um like literally an environment. You're trying to maybe preserve some forests out there. Maybe you're a park ranger. Maybe you're trying to preserve lakes. That's coming through, lakes from all the green goo, like trying to rebalance the pH of rivers, of ponds and such. Yeah, I think that you're working right now with a lot of like sacred water energy, and maybe sacred, like your crown chakra as well. It's like really, really tapping into with beings of higher frequency. By the way, dolphins are very high frequency, and if you connect with those, they might channel through you if you open yourself when next time you go to the beach and you just tune in. And maybe, for example, spirits telling me to put myself as an example, and I do may make sounds when I go to the beach. I do like perhaps express or sing a tone, a frequency with my voice, and I feel like even though I might not always see dolphins because I have seen some, um there I'm connecting with that energy deep down there, deep in the deep oceans, with a lot of creatures, not just dolphins, but that high frequency of the water, because we're seeing some water here too. So maybe that's something. And I know that this might be like not the easiest thing to do, and nowadays it's like very strange to others, and you might feel exposed and maybe like very vulnerable in some way, but spirit is saying to like try to shut down the noise and maybe the gossips here, because the fire ant talks about gossiping and not engaging into that if possible, to maintain yourself away from environments like that, or from circles or people, places that bring that energy. But let's read some of the ant card here in the deck book. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. When in balance, thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, gossips. To bring into balance, solo time, walks at night. You hear the crickets? Yeah, that night element is here now. um, yeah, I think that you might benefit from some solo time. Maybe some of you are going like on an adventure, on a trip, because I'm seeing that. And like I said, it's having to do with some water element, with something that's gonna bring you a lot of healing. Maybe you're going to a retreat of some sort, and you're gonna ingest some medicine or some something like for example teas, or I don't know, kefir, kombuchas, stuff like that, that have to do a lot with the water element, cleansing yourself. And spirit's also saying when you do channel, because a lot of you channel and receive downloads from spirit, from water spirits, from yourself, from your ancestors, from your higher realms, families and galactic families, to drink water after that, because that washes whatever excess of energy, like excess heat, like the ant says, and to really wash that off and be able to like purify and make yourself a little lighter, to wash all the information off, in a sense. But yeah, I think there's something about like prepare yourself for maybe some of like anything that comes your way, in the environment, for you to adapt to the environment, like this card says. And here with the Seven of Wands, also, like if any challenges come your way, be prepared, carry your backpack with all your resources that you can plan for maybe upcoming meetings or gatherings where you're gonna need to prepare yourself emotionally, even, to be around certain energies. That's what I want to say. But yeah, I think most of all is like for your health, for your own sake, and your life force energy to not be sucked by energy vampires, for example, and be prepared for that, and be resourceful, and take care of your body first. Release the excess heat in yourself as well, the excess anger. If you know you need to go take a jog or a run before talking to someone, just please do so you're more balanced, and your life force energy doesn't get sucked, because you're way able to regenerate yourself, regenerate by releasing, and by recharging as well, it's very powerful when we each find our own way of releasing and recharging as well. What recharges you, what lets you recuperate your life force energy as well, and then allows you to take on any challenges, like I said. But let's pull your affirmation card. Es lo que quiere afirmar espíritu para el número 3 en su lectura con las cartas de ambiente, de fuerza, de vida, de energía vital, de la hormiga de fuego y el 7 de varas. It says, "You are not alone." And I see the little potion here because this deck has affirmations and different categories, and this is more like a potion. And the heart signifies it's more like about self love, like compassion to yourself, self compassion. You're not alone this time, okay? And yes, you might benefit from some alone time, um, but you might also benefit from connecting maybe to spirit, like I said, channeling from the higher realms, from your spirit guides, anything that you consider source in itself, to really recharge from that environment and know that you're always held, that you were never alone and you will never be alone. You're always held by whatever you believe is out there, of course, by your loved ones as well, and your past loved ones in spirit, they're always by you, by your side. And you also, because you got the crystal quartz, I feel like there is a lot of crown chakra energy and you are like opening it right now. And just remember to wear your protection, wear something on your head, crystals, anything that's like like a bow or a bandana, you name it, your beanie, whatever. um you can also put oil on your scalp, like anything that guards your crown chakra from receiving any messages of like I don't know, just dance energy that others might be thinking about you. I think you're kind of like a loner because you have been judged or you know misjudged before. But I think sometimes you don't really accept that you feel kind of alone, and this is why we got the affirmation. But you're not alone, and it's okay to be by yourself. But remember that you're always accompanied by your spirit guides, by your spirit team, and that you can find the energy of, breaking free from anything that distracts you from your plans, because that's essentially your life force energy, your plans for your mission, your purpose, that you're directioning yourself to, that really you're receiving the help of spirit, opening your roads, and clearing the way to for you to find that. And if you do like to be around people or you have a partnership of some sort, well, remember you can always ask for support or for an ear to listen. But yeah, that is what is coming through for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.